Hey guys, how's it going? So today we are going to play a game called Seventh Domain. Before we get into it, unfortunately, we haven't we haven't even really started with the game, and we already encounter a little bit of an issue, and that is the fact that the game is in Chinese, despite the fact that it states on the Steam page that it is in English. So when you start up the game, you have to go and go over here, go over here. What's the bloody controls? Like, I can't even... I'm assuming... Okay, it's not left and right. Let's see, can we change that one? That should be the setting. It's not allowing me to change it. Okay, spacebar. Okay, so you press spacebar and then you can change the language to English. So that's how you get the game to English. But it's not good that the game starts up in Chinese. The game, when you download the game, 99% of games basically detect your language, the region of your Steam language. So if it's America, like North America, England, Australia, places like that, then it will default to English. But if you're in Russia, it will obviously default to Russian or Orcish. And if you're in whatever, Taiwan or wherever, it will default to Taiwanese. If you're in Brazil, it should default to Portuguese. And unfortunately this game is not set up to do that. So that's the first issue that we encounter. And then the second issue is the fact that the game starts up in a weird windowed mode. I'm not sure what this mode is. So that's the resolution. We don't want to run it at that resolution. We want to bump up the resolution, but I first want to figure out why is the game... Okay, let's see what happens when we put it... Oh, okay, that actually fixes it. Fantastic. So you have windowed mode, and then you have borderless full screen mode. It doesn't seem that there is full screen mode. So the game doesn't have a full screen mode. It literally just has borderless full screen mode and then windowed mode. There's no borderless windowed mode, and there's no exclusive full screen mode. So that's bad. It's not good that the game doesn't have all of the normal window settings available that you would normally expect. But anyway, let me get into it. So today we are going to be reviewing a game called what is it? Seventh Domain. I almost said seventh generation for some reason. It's Seventh Domain, and as always with all of my first impression Let's Play reviews, we're going to be playing the game for an hour or more until we can decide whether or not the game is worth playing. If you are in a hurry, you can simply skip to the last 10-15 minutes of the video, and in the last 10-15 minutes of the video I will give you my quick, concise, final opinion on the game and tell you whether or not, in my opinion, the game is worth buying for $12. Otherwise, if you're not in a hurry, you can just stay tuned and I will be playing through the game. I will be giving you my my running commentary as I play through the game, and I will be telling you what in my opinion is good and bad about the game. Now, the game is actually, as of right now, not yet released on Steam. Let me just have a look here quickly. I just need to do something here. There we go. So the game right now is not yet released on Steam. It releases in about 10 hours. My video will be one of the very first, if not the first, video on YouTube that actually shows the full game. I have the full game that the developer sent to me. There are some videos on YouTube and some on Twitch as well that show the demo. Today we will not be looking at the demos because I really do not cover demos. Today we will be looking at the full game. As you can see, I have the full game in my library. Up until literally just a little while ago, I did not know the price of the game because obviously you can't see the price of the game before the game releases, unless, like, sometimes you can see the prices of games before they release, but I do believe that that it is only for like 1% of games that are released on Steam, because they need to get authorization from Valve before being able to display the game here and being able to pre-purchase the game. So only about 1% of games fall under that category. So I do not know the price of the game, but actually just now the developer did a update in a community post, and they say here that the game costs $12. So we at least have a price to work with. I don't like usually reviewing games if I don't have a price to compare it with, because obviously the price will factor into my decision of recommending the game or not recommending the game, you know. If the game is bad, then I might still recommend it if it's like $5, but if the game is bad and it's $60 or $70 like Starfield or something like that, then I definitely won't recommend the game. That is why I didn't recommend Starfield, for instance. If Starfield was $10, I would recommend it, but because it's 60 or 70 or whatever dollars, I did not recommend it. So price always factors into my decision when reviewing a game. By the way, it's a little bit interesting that the developer, obviously the developer is a Chinese developer, so their English might not be perfect, but it's interesting that they say here Diablo-like gameplay core. Diablo-like. And I don't know about you, perhaps there was a different Diablo released in China, but this does not look like Diablo to me. This is a side-scrolling Metroidvania type game. So I'm not seeing much of Diablo right here, but anyway, like I said, English is not the developer's native language, so yeah, I don't know. Maybe Blizzard sent over a strange version of Diablo to China. I don't know. Blizzard actually does for the Chinese market, because China is weird. In their culture, they don't like seeing bones. Like, bones are basically like a taboo. So I know that in China, Blizzard released a special version of World of Warcraft where the skeletons do not have bones, and as well a special version of Diablo where the skeletons have flesh, like zombies and skeletons. They don't have bones, they have like flesh over their bones to cover up the bones. So obviously that's the type of thing that Blizzard will do just to reach an extra billion people in China, which is fair enough. But yeah, I don't I don't think this game is really something you could call a Diablo-like game, to be honest. This music, we've turned it to high now. I don't know what this does. It just says music high, medium, low, off. Like, is this the volume? Maybe? Because the music is just gone now for some reason. This might be the channels, or it might be the volume. I really don't know. It's probably the volume, because I don't see any other volume. I don't see any volume triggers here, so this is probably the volume. It's probably not the channels. So anyway, shock, I don't know what shock means. I don't know what it does. It might be vibration, even though I don't think the game is coming out on consoles at all, so that's probably not shock, meaning vibration. So another thing is a lot of the menu already, like, I don't think the translations were done very well, to be completely honest with you, which once again is a little bit indicative of the game starting up in Chinese, you know, like, it shouldn't do that, and the translations in the menu shouldn't be this bad. That really makes me think that the translations in the game are going to be equally bad, and that's bad because this game does have items and descriptions, and it has a talent tree and skills, and if the descriptions and the translations on the skills and the items and the talents are incorrect, you know, incorrectly translated, that's going to be a problem for English players. So let me just get my bearings here. It seems that the mouse does nothing, so I might as well throw the mouse out of the window, because that does nothing so far. So jump is space, that's understandable. Dash is O. Why the fuck would it be O? And then main hand attack J. You see, this is already an issue. This makes me think that perhaps the game is ported, you know, from Xbox or something like that, because these controls are just abysmal. How the fuck do you do main hand attack on J, side attack with K? I don't know what the side attack is. I'm assuming it's an alternate attack, not side attack. Like, why couldn't it just be left and right, you know, like, I'm clicking, nothing is happening. So why couldn't it just be left click, right click? That would have been so much easier. Insanely easier. Okay, so dash, this is fucking ridiculous. Dash is O. I'm gonna have to change that to something like shift or something like that, because O is just insane. Shift, let's make that shift. And then, okay, so W, A, S, and D. You can go down as well a little bit. So climbing is up, map is D. Why the fuck would map be D? So it says to right, to left, which is A, but then map is D. So I'm assuming that is incorrect. Map cannot be D, because this says to left, so this should probably be to right. So that's another issue. Like, this I mean, that goes beyond just a bad translation. That is something really messed up. That's not just a bad translation, that is completely inaccurate. If that's not map, and my assumption is correct that it's actually to right, meaning you move right, then that is a gigantic mistranslation. Okay, talent skill 1, 2, 3, 4. You and I. Why the fuck would it be you and I? So that's going to be our weapon abilities, basically. I'm just trying to figure out how we are actually going to play this fucking game. So, you and I would rather make that I and O, to be honest. So let's make that I and make that O. And then the other one can be J and K. I don't have a problem with that being J and K then. So J, K, J, K. And then task is Q, which you can't change. Key cannot be modified. Why in the name of Diablo would it not be allowed to be modified? Like, I just do not understand. Like, what's the point of having like 50% of the skills modifiable and the rest not? I just don't understand that. That's the entire point behind key bindings. You're supposed to be able to change the key bindings. So you can't change that, can't change interaction, can't change map. You see, there's map, which is M, and then here's map again, which is D, which probably confirms my suspicion that it is indeed a very, very wrong translation. But okay, I guess we can fucking play like this. IOJK shift, like holy hell, okay. But this is not good. This actually reminds me of another game that I did a review on, like, I think maybe a couple months ago, called Souldiers, like soldier, but Souldiers. I think, well, what was it? A game by Square Enix? Why do I think it was a game by Square Enix? Let me just have a look here. I did a review on it, and it was a fucking terrible game. But it's also a 2D side-scrolling Metroidvania type game. Oh no, it's not Square Enix. It's a completely different studio. But that game is like $40. It is redonkulous. Let me bring it up here quickly, just so that you guys can see. If you haven't watched my video on it yet. I also love the fact that we don't have music now. Really, really fantastic. And then we do this, and we do that, and then boom, through the magic of editing. So if you look over here, I did a review 17th July 2022. Holy hell, was it that long ago? That's more than a year ago. That time flies when you're not playing shitty games, I guess. I really thought this was a lot more recent. It feels a lot more recent. But anyway, this game was particularly bad, like just really, really bad. It's also a Metroidvania 2D side-scrolling type game. I liked the animations. The animations of the game is good. It's above average, but just the rest of the game was dog shit. Really, really not good. And the game costs like $30 or $40, I think. Let me have a look here. I can't remember what the price is of the game. $20. Did they reduce the price? They had to have reduced the price. Let me have a look here. No, they didn't reduce the price. $20. Was it really $20 or €20? For some reason, I thought it was more. But anyway, really bad game. And in that game as well, I remember the controls were terrible. It had the same issue as this game, where the controls are terrible. I mean, you can't play a fucking game like this on keyboard, you know. IO and then JK on the keyboard, and then you can't rebind Q or E or M, and like it's just messed up. And no mouse controls, literally. Okay, well, you can click. Apparently you can click, so let's see if you can actually use left click in the game. If you can, then my opinion might change, because so far the mouse is completely useless. That's the ugliest baby I've ever seen. It also feels like the cinematic is running at like 15 FPS. Like you can literally see the pixels in each frame moving, and that's a very abrupt end there. But anyway, okay, so you move W, A, S, and D. Can we attack yet? Yes. Okay, so J and then K. So that's K and that's J. Why is the sound only coming out of the left channel? That's really weird. It's literally almost only coming out of the left channel on my headphones. If you have your headphones set up correctly, you will hear it as well. Okay, left click, right click. Okay, so left click, right click does absolutely nothing. You see, that's very bad, because this game would have gotten a much I wouldn't say better score, because I don't give score, but a much better opinion from me about the controls if you could use simply left click and right click, like literally like left click, right click. That would have been fantastic. Like I really would have had a much better opinion of the game if you could simply do that, but unfortunately can't. So W, A, S, and D, and then J, K. So yeah, that's blocking, and then if you simply press it once, it does that. But if you press and hold it, then it does that. I and O doesn't do anything. M actually opens the map, and Q does nothing. E does nothing. Shift. Okay, so shift is dashing, as I predicted, and then jump. Okay, so I guess we can play the game like this, even though, to be completely honest, it is not native. It's not a very easy feeling control scheme. It's not a very native feeling control scheme, I've got to be honest. In the air state, you can use falling. In the air state, you can use falling. Okay, so space and S, apparently. Space and S. Okay, that did nothing. Pressing S did nothing. So we cannot use falling in the air state, apparently, as the developer claims. Like, I'm making fun of the developer because English isn't their first language. Before you write angry comments in the comments below, my native language is also not English, so if you think that I'm making fun of a foreigner, then you can go fuck yourself, because I am myself a foreigner. So just think twice before you make fun of or before you think I'm criticizing someone just because they can't speak English properly. I can't speak English that well either, so. Print, torch. Okay. I don't like these tutorials that pop up because you literally run past them in like 1 second and then they're gone. So they're very, very easy to miss, to be honest. Raise shield can offset some damage, okay. Raise shield, timing is right to rebound attack. Okay, so you can basically like deflect an attack, and then I'm assuming you do more damage. Sprint through low-lying areas. Holy hell! They weren't kidding with the word sprint. That's fucking a lightning beam. Like, look at that shit. Zoom! Zoom! Like, Sonic the Hedgehog would be so impressed. The use of dash in mid-air can trample on enemies. Dash. So, jump and dash. Oh, okay. So that's like an attack thing. Okay, pick up. Are we supposed to replace something? Both of them are exactly the same. Oh, the one gives MDev, the other one gives dev. So there's a difference between magic defense and defense. So the one on the right is the one that I currently have equipped, I'm assuming. So let's replace that one. Where do I replace equipment after picking it up? Click menu key on the main interface to open the menu surface. Click equipment button, the first one on the right, to open the equipment interface. I like the fact that they say click and yet you can't click. Like the game is literally, you go through the menu with A, S and D, like, and then you confirm stuff with spacebar. You literally confirm stuff by pressing spacebar. It's not even enter, it's literally spacebar. So it's funny that they say click when the game doesn't have mouse support, only in the menus. On the left side of the equipment screen, the currently worn equipment is listed. Weapon occupy the first 2 equipment columns, followed by helmet, cloak, blah blah blah. You can follow the screen at the you can follow the screen at the, and then it ends, and then we go to the next page, and there's no up and down. And then this one as well, you can see there at the bottom it ends. You can according to the interface at the bottom of, and then there's nothing, literally. I'm pressing up and down, nothing's happening. So it seems that the Chinese text would have fit into the available space, like this available space here, you know, it would have fit in. But the English translation, especially with these bloody unnecessary spaces that are being left over here, is not fitting in at all. So that, like the tutorial, I'm sure this is going to happen somewhere along the line again, but the tutorial is completely messed up because of this, because you can't even read all of the text. So that's obviously an issue. Hopefully it's not going to be an issue on stuff like weapon descriptions, talent descriptions, skill descriptions, that kind of stuff. But I guess we will have to see. But it's not good that it's an issue in the tutorial screen. You can have 6 weapon types. Holy shit. Or are you simply saying there are 6 weapon types? Because if you can have 6 weapons equipped at once, that would be hilarious. Different weapons have different attacks. Choose a good weapon. Choosing a good weapon is especially important for your next adventure. You can, according to the interface at the bottom of. Okay, thank you very much. Very, very helpful. Bow. Ranged attacks. I do like that. Let's see. How do you use it? Oh, just like that. Okay, so now I'm not melee attacking anymore. I'm now ranged attacking. Oh, that's much easier, isn't it? I don't know what that fucking sound just now was. Press direction key for continuous trampling during aerial dash. Continuous trampling, you say? Can I shoot down? No. Can't shoot down. Continuous trampling. I am going to trample on you continuously. Prepare to be trampled upon without stop. Holy shit, I couldn't even read that. Overreach! Why did the guy scream overreach? Oh shit. Dodge, dodge. Fucking hell. I can't. They don't allow me to go out. Overreach. Your mother. Ouch. You overreached. Is that all? Holy fuck. Yeah, one hit. That's always the way in these types of games. You get one hit, like there's battles that you can't win. You literally can't win them. That's such a played out trope in a lot of games. I recently played the new Lords of the Fallen as well, and in that game as well, there's a battle that you cannot win. You are forced to die in that battle. Hey, that's lights. There are people building buildings and houses in the secret world. Aha! The village should know some useful information. Hope they are friendly enough. I guess I can speed this up, can't I? Okay, well, we are done. So the dialogue in the game, as is expected, is going to be very funny, simply due to the bad translations. You know, overreach. Like, it's just, it reminds me of that one game that famously said all your base R belong to us. And this is going to be like that. This is going to be a all your base R belong to us type of game with the funny translations that you're gonna get in this game. Like, how much does it cost to do, like, to hire a translator on Fiverr or anything like that? Like, I'm certain you can get someone who can do the translations for you on Fiverr for like under $100. Like, no jokes. Like, this game cannot have that much text to translate. Like, I'm certain you can do it for under $100. There are people in third world countries like India who can speak very good English, who will jump at the chance of getting $100, you know. And it's not even a thing about being able to speak English and Chinese. You don't even need a translator. You just need an English speaker to read what has been translated, and then they can highlight places where there are issues. Like, I've already seen 4 or 5 places where there are issues, obvious issues, where the translation is not correct, it's not grammatically correct, and just $100 fucking to make the translations in your game a lot better. Like, this is really bad. If it's this bad in the English translations, then I shudder at the thought of perhaps playing the game on German or Italian or anything like that. Like, the translations are going to be fucking abysmal if they're this bad on English. When a character levels up, they get talent points on the main interface. Click menu key to open the menu interface and then click talent button, the 4th on the right, to open the talents interface. Talent is divided into 3 categories: passive, public, and skill. Passive talent can bring weapon bonus damage. Public talent can let you learn a variety of absolutely nothing. Before unlocking, you see this screen right here is supposed to give you a short description of passive points, public points, and skill points. It didn't even get to the full description of public talents. Never mind skill talents. Like, it's supposed to, here at the bottom we can't see it, but there are supposed to be skill talents. So we got passive talents, then we got halfway through public talents, and we get no fucking idea what skill talents are. Like, that's how bad the interface design is. It's clear that a machine translation was rushed through the entire game, and no consideration was given for the consequences of the spacing and all of that on the actual game and the actual interface. Like, it's not good. Before unlocking a skill point, you need to pass a few attribute points, which will greatly improve your character's attributes! Passive talent takes effect as long as is unlocked. And then once again here, there is more text supposed to be, but we can't see it because it's cut off. So, not good. Not good in the slightest. So, you can't navigate with a mouse. I'm literally clicking, dragging, can't do any of that. So, once again, it's gonna have to be WASD. Okay, so we have one, I'm assuming we have 1 point. Where does it actually say that we have 1 point? It doesn't actually say any. Oh, 3 talent points there at the top. I almost missed that. Okay, so we have 3 talent points. Public skill: release soul energy and restore 20% of your HP. So the cooldown is 32 seconds and it costs 36 energy points, EP maybe. Even though it says soul energy, it's supposed to say whatever energy, you know, like whatever energy points. Can we get this one? Prerequisites not met. After unlocking it, you can use it in battle through settings. Once again, like here, the the stuff is overlapping, so that's obviously not good. Let's see if we can find any skills that I have really, really bad fuck-ups with regards to the talents. Well, there's something wrong there, clearly. Because those two should be the same, but they're not. You see, when you get to something like this, and the text is literally maximum, like you can't even get another word in here, that makes me fear that some information was cut off right here. Also, some of them have points at the end, and some of them don't have, which is weird. So far, most of the skills seem okay. I'm not seeing any skills that I would really say seem to have a really bad translation or that are really cut off. Like this one is even worse than the other one. The spacing, like look at that, the spacing is completely messed up. I don't know how the Chinese language, Mandarin or whatever, uses spaces, but clearly the spaces in the machine translation have been completely fucked up. Yeah, most of these seem okay. I don't really see any issues with most of these. So that's not too bad, because my fear was that it would be a complete shit show and you would not really understand what any of the skills do. So I'm guessing we need to take this one before we take anything else. 3 talent points, okay. Want to equip it now? Yes, thank you. On the main interface, click the menu skills, alternatively, talent screen by following, absolutely fuck all. You can according to the absolutely fuck all. And then this one actually is complete. Left side, blah 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 blah. See, now they're saying communal skills, where previously they said public skills. So the translation isn't even uniform, you know. Communal skills, public skills, it's not the same thing in English. But the machine translation probably said, hey, I can throw the word communal in here instead of public. But anyway, as long as we can at least, like, play the fucking game and understand what our skills are doing, it shouldn't be a massive issue. I have no weapon skills yet. This, I think, is healing. I think it's just basically healing. 20% healing. I have some of those blue crystals, but I don't know what they actually do. That requires a talent point. Anything else? Bag, no. Sacred. Don't know what that is. Talent, we looked at. Skill, we looked at. Echo. Don't know what Echo is. Apparently the game has some kind of a card system. Explore. Click on the menu button on the main interface to open the menu button. Click on the explore button. Seventh one on the bottom right. Like, why do they even say that? I mean, it's just weird to say that. Like, click on the button, by the way, it's the 7th one on the right. Like, I just don't understand why they're doing that. How to buy items. Why are you showing me how to buy items all of a sudden? Can we actually buy and sell items here? Okay, so apparently if you reach these milestones, then you can get the chests, apparently. Oh, so there's basically these are different maps, and on each map there's different challenges, type of, like, if you go into this one, you can see here a whole bunch of different stuff that you can basically unlock, or milestones that you have to reach, and each one of these have their own thing. Okay, well, that's fine. Wonder how big the levels are, because there's 7 levels, so I wonder how big the levels are. And then settings. Okay, so that's like help, whatever you want to call it, an encyclopedia, encyclopedia even, maybe, if I can speak correctly. But as you see, once again, text cut off right there, text massively cut off right there, so you can't even see what mdev actually does. And then once again there, text cut off. So you see, this is an issue that is going to be repeatedly coming up throughout the entire game, that just because of the translation issue, because the translations were done very poorly, you are not going to be provided with all of the information that you need to effectively and efficiently play the game. So that's obviously a little bit of an issue. Okay, let's continue. I just move my useless mouse out of the way. Mouse that we can't do anything with. How can I find my lost brother? They don't leave the text on the screen for nearly enough time. How can the world be restored? Holy shit. So you can't even press space, because like space will make the text go faster, but if you do that, then it immediately disappears. So the speed up of spacebar doesn't even help, because as soon as you press spacebar, you have like 2 seconds to read the text and then it disappears. Now that's obviously not good. That's just poor game design right there. Like, they should allow you to press space to show all of the text, and then you have to press space again before going to the next thing, or before closing the dialogue. Like, that's not good game design. Do we want to go down actually, or not? Hello, have you seen my companions in Snowland? They are dressed similar to me. Hey, Carter, haven't you given up yet? But I've asked everyone in the village. One has never seen one. Woohoo. Holy hell. That's a particularly bad translation. The young man over there. Do you also have friends lost in the secret world? Ah, me? No, well, I was just going to the secret place and I overheard you talking when I passed by. I am really sorry. I didn't mean to eavesdrop. Aha, don't be nervous, you young man. However, since you are going into the secret realm, why don't you do me a favor? The little girl who carries the burden of supplying the village with supplies has gone into the secret realm. Why would she do that? Is she stupid? Would it be too hasty for the village to give such a heavy responsibility to a little girl? Too hasty. That doesn't make sense. I'll take that as a yes if you don't say anything. Is that a good idea? After all, we've only met for the first time. Are you sure you'll give me such an important task? By the way, the entrance to the secret realm is right behind you. Take the elevator and go down. Okay, I accept that too. In that case, make your acquaintance with Koto of the Forge, whose help you must depend on for your adventure. Okay, so he completely ignored the one question where he asked if it's wise to give me such a responsibility. I guess the old man is hard of hearing, I guess. Let's go with that. I'm not gonna read any of the shit anymore, to be honest, because it's just not lending itself to the enjoyability, is that a word, of the game, and it's just really tedious. How to strengthen? Okay, so you can strengthen and you can decompose weapons. I'm assuming talking to these people aren't going to give us anything, really. Some of them have portraits that speak, and some of them don't have portraits to speak. Can I speak to the cat? Meow, strong. Well, let's just skip that completely by pressing exit. This guy is Koto, but it has two T's over here. When the old man spoke to me, he said Koto with one T. Okay, so you can enhance and disassemble. I don't have anywhere close to enough stuff to enhance. Oh, that must make Meow Way feel really shitty, because when you talk to Meow Strong, you get an achievement on Steam, but when you talk to Meow Way, you don't get an achievement. That sucks. Poor Meow Way. Oh, you can just hold in the button, by the way. I just realized that. What's the difference between this attack? Oh, okay, so there's no difference because I'm pressing J and then I'm pressing K. But there's seemingly no difference between J and K when using a bow. When using the sword and shield, it was obviously blocking and attacking, but with a bow there's no difference, which is fine. I just thought maybe there would be like a slight difference, maybe. Sorry, I'm not gonna read anything that you guys have to say anymore because it's just too tedious. You want to give me a quest, you can give me a quest. Otherwise than that, I'm not gonna read anymore. I'm allergic to reading in any way. And I'm especially allergic to reading badly translated English. Oh, those are some tig old butties, I have to say. Blah blah blah, blah 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 blah, probably doesn't matter. I do like the character portraits, I guess I can say. Most of them are actually good. Like honestly, most of them are actually pretty high quality. Like this one is not particularly good. This one is pretty lazy, to be honest. This one is a little bit better. But one of the old man, like this one, is really good. Like if you look at the detail of the face, that's really good. And then the main character is okay, you know, like our portrait is relatively okay, I would say. But overall, it's not bad. Sorry, I'm just gonna skip that. Okay, so I'm assuming that's the entrance to the secret world that they said. I still don't understand why when you press shift. Oh, now the sound is coming out of the right speaker. And then the left speaker. Right speaker, left speaker. Right speaker, left speaker. Why? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Black Tree provides you with an entrance to mysterious land. You obtain the Black Echo in the game. You can also enter. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Okay, so which one do we want to go to? Okay, I guess let's go to this one first. How did you get here so fast? Oh, I forgot I can just press exit. So you can't shoot upwards. That's going to be an issue. And you can't shoot downwards either. That's always going to be an issue, unfortunately. Can I shoot you? No, I can't. I remember in that other game that I spoke about earlier, Souldiers, the ranged combat was particularly fucking terrible. Like really, really terrible ranged combat I remember in that game. Like you did have ranged combat, but it was particularly terrible. Okay, so what if we go in here now? Clues not collected. Okay, apparently we first have to do some stuff. Die! Holy hell. Literally 2 shots and that guy dies. Yeah, sorry old man, I'm not gonna listen to you. Okay, we get a key or a card. You can reach the current map Snowland directly afterward through the deserted village echo of your choice. Each level has a few plot clues color that are key to getting the echo of the level. After getting the echo, you can go directly to the map corresponding to the echo. Okay, so it's like a map. You basically get maps. I'm assuming. Okay. Attack, magic attack, HP. I'm not sure what my bow even uses. I'm not even sure if my bow is magic attack or attack. Let's go for attack. Okay, so is that like a passive? Do I just get that, or do I have to equip it, or... Oh, are we done with the level? Holy hell, that was a quick level. Bastard. These guys respawned already. Apparently the game has respawning. Oh yeah, that one just respawned. Holy shit. And they don't care about respawning next to you or anything like that. Yeah, the ranged combat is not that good. Like, what I would like is if you could either aim somehow, even though in a game with controls as basic as this, it would be very difficult to aim. But what I would like is auto aim. Like, instead of having to jump and shoot, like if you stand here, it should auto aim at that guy at the top, you know? And like here as well, like you should be able to shoot down, and yet there's no way to shoot down. Like even if you jump and press down and shoot, like it doesn't do anything. I'm literally pressing jump and down while shooting. Nothing is happening. And then likewise, you can't shoot upwards. Like literally, I'm pressing upwards and shooting. Nothing is happening. So the controls for shooting are particularly terrible. Hey, we get a bow. I'm assuming this is going to be better than mine. Yeah, it gives more dexterity. And then it also shoots 3 rounds of arrows, the same as mine. That's fine, we can take that one. So am I just done with the level now? Looks like it. And the enemies respawn very quickly. It seems like maybe a minute and then they respawn, like literally 60 seconds. Whether to travel to terrestrial ruins, surface catacombs. Like which one should I select? Beauty. Okay, I don't know really. I'm just gonna choose one. Okay, and then that takes me to another part of the map or another instance of the map, or are we on a completely different map? Oh, we get flying bastards. Holy shit, I shot something that I didn't even see. You see, like, this is an issue that the enemies, the flying enemies in particular, are going to be very, very difficult to deal with if you can't aim up or down. Don't aim to the fucking right. And now I'm shooting against the fucking roof. The combat is not nearly as smooth as it could be. Like, I've played a couple of these games. Like I said, I don't particularly like Metroidvania type games or platformer games. I'm not a particularly big fan of them. I mean, I will play them, but I'm really not a fan of them. But I can tell you that this combat could definitely be a lot better. Like, it is not particularly good. It can just absolutely be a lot better. Like, you can't aim up, you can't aim down. I also would have liked it if gold and materials were auto pick up, so that you don't need to actually pick them up, because that just wastes time. Well, I'm not going to switch from my daggers and that kind of stuff, but I might want to, or I'm not going to switch to daggers, but I might want to disenchant these, so put that. Okay, well, this one we can probably decompose, maybe. Well, it depends on the cost. Some of these things I might want to decompose, and some of them I might want to sell, depending on their price. So we will just put those in the bag. It's also not good that you can't simply put them in your bag. You have to press E to look at them, and then you can select to put them in the bag. So instead of one click per item, you are basically forced to do at least 2 clicks, because you need to click to look at the item, and then you need to click again to store the item. Okay, so that's healing. I need to remember that, because I obviously don't want to get healing unnecessarily. I want to get healing perhaps when I'm fighting a boss or something like that. Okay, I just triggered something. Also weird that the game doesn't have battle music. Usually these types of games will have at least some form of battle music, and I haven't heard any battle music yet. It's just literally the same music constantly. The music that there is also isn't particularly good. I mean, it's I guess what you would call melodic, you know, it's melodic music, but it's not particularly good. And we get another beauty card, which I really have no idea what the beauty cards do. We selected the beauty card on the previous, like when we teleported, and I have to be honest, I have no idea what that did. Okay, so here's the exit. That's another teleporter, which will, I think, only take us, yeah, basically to the other teleporters, so We don't need to do that. Okay, I don't know what that is. Some kind of a buff, maybe? Okay, are we done? Not quite yet. You see, like right there, the enemy was basically right in front of me, and because the bullets fall, you know, they fall down, which is totally fine, but you can't aim. So the issue is really that you can't aim the bullets at all. And even though that enemy was right in front of me, just a little bit away, you know, like a couple meters in front of me, I still wasn't able to hit it because you can't aim. Okay, so I don't know. I guess we're done with the map. There's a what I'm assuming is like a pressure plate over there and then a pressure plate over there. I already activated both of the... Oh, you can actually drag. Holy shit. The mouse actually has a use, guys. 10 out of 10 IGN. Like, the mouse actually has a use. You can't do any fucking thing else with a mouse, but you can actually use the mouse on the map. That is 10 out of 10 immediately. So I don't know what else we can do here, really. I don't know what those two pressure plates did. We stepped on both of them. Now it doesn't... Oh, there we go. It works every now and then. Like sometimes I click, like there it didn't want to work. So even the mouse control is iffy. But anyway, I don't know. It looks like we can't really do anything else. We've done the entire map, and this here doesn't do anything, so I guess we're done. I like the fact that you can teleport. That saves a little bit of time. Like here, I would like to aim just a little bit up, but you literally can't do that. And there, I would like to not have to fucking run and pick the thing up. It should be automatically pulled into my inventory since it's materials, but it obviously doesn't do that. Okay, we only get one choice this time. Let's do that one. Heal Ice Wrath. This is going to be an arena fight, almost certainly. Let's first have a look at our skill points quickly. It's actually battle music now. That's a sword attack. I don't want sword attacks. That's a sword attack. Where are the ranged attacks? Here's a ranged attack. Here's another ranged attack. Here's some magic attacks. I haven't unlocked magic yet, so I don't know if magic attacks will be good. Here's some more magic. Ah, here's some more archery. 3 damage. Wow, that's very little. Plus 3 damage, plus 5 damage. That's very little damage. Plus 10 damage. That's fair. But still, overall, that's a very small increase, plus 5 HP. Plus 3 damage, it's very little. So do I want to go left to these ones that are mostly passives, it looks like? Or do I want to go right to where there are skills? Dealing 200% physical damage to the target every 0.5 seconds, but it doesn't say for how long. It says that it will deal damage per 0.5 seconds, but it doesn't say, does it last 5 seconds? Does it last a minute? Like how long, you know? For 5 seconds, this one actually says, freezing the target for 5 seconds, deal 100% magic damage every 1 second. So you would assume it would deal 5, it will deal that damage 5 times. Continuously shoots 4 arrows in front of you, each arrow dealing 220 damage. That's a lot. Yeah, so I think I would probably want to go over here. Yeah, I think we can dispense with the prompts. You've prompted me enough. Then for this one I need to be level 6 and have 3 talent points. Okay, that's fine. Okay, let's try. I see the enemy over there, but I don't know if I'm actually doing damage to it. I'm assuming I'm not doing damage to it because I'm not hearing any hits or anything like that. For fuck's sake, I thought I would be smart by dodging. Fucker. Holy shit, even when I try to dodge it, I can't dodge it. Fucking hell. How the fuck am I supposed to dodge that shit? Oh, you can sprint underneath it. I need to remember that. I didn't even realize that you could sprint underneath it. Okay, that at least we learned something in that fight. You don't necessarily need to jump over something, you can sprint underneath it. Because we don't have a shield to block, obviously. Okay, we have a ring, that one is definitely better than ours. Shield in the bag, sword in the bag, arrow. Is it better than ours? I don't know why they give you 2 options when selecting to equip a two-hander. I don't know why they give you 2 options. Holy tits, this thing is a lot more powerful than mine. Like, it's probably over 200% as powerful. So we are gonna do at least 200% more damage now. I don't know what the point of these cards are that you select at the end of the level. Like, what's the point of it? Get sacred. We're gonna get sacred, boys. Time to get sacred. What does luck do? Luck. I think let's go for MDev because magic is gonna do a lot of damage to us since we can't block. Get sacred, boys. Like, these translations are just so funny. 200 and... holy tits. Bastard. Oh shit. I thought he was done casting, but apparently not. How are we doing 200 damage, but it doesn't look like we are doing 200 damage? What's this? There's some kind of a special... What the hell? Quick teleportation. Shit. How the hell? Fucking hell. Ouch. Ouch. Okay, do we go left or right? Plain close. Why does it say plain twice and then on the right one plain, uncomplicated and plain close? Like, why does it say plain twice? Like, it's not meant to be funny, all of these descriptions and stuff, but to someone like, I'm not a native English speaker, but to a native English speaker, these are just going to be so funny. Oh shit, okay, that hurts. Ouch, that hurts. Fucking hell. How stupid am I? Like, I can't dodge any of these. That's why I don't like Metroidvania games, because I'm not good at them. Give me a first-person shooter, and I'll do good in it, but this shit. Okay, Magic Dev, yeah, the one on the left is actually surprisingly much better than the one on the right, despite the one on the right being yellow. But it might not be better, you know, like some games, I've seen some games where green is the best thing you can get in the game, literally green. So normally you would consider green to be below rare, and rare would be blue, and then yellow would be like even more rare, very rare. But perhaps that's not the same in this game, because this blue item is actually a lot better than the yellow item. Oh shit. At least we can heal ourselves. without healing I would be screwed. So where... Okay, let's try to go over there to the right. Shit. How the fuck are you supposed to get through here? How the hell did that thing hit me? It hit me as it went up. How does that make any sense? How can it hit me when it goes up? Now we're gonna need better bloody healing here, because this is ridiculous. Yeah, another one is fine, I guess. I would like auto healing, like some form of auto healing, to be honest, but yes, we don't have the privilege of getting that right now. So this one is arrow that gathers energy, penetrating in front of you, 285, 285. I mean, we can get it. I'd also like to try out magic before we end the video today, just to see if it's as overpowered, in my opinion, as arrows are. Like something that would be cool is like a leeching arrow or something like that, you know, like an arrow that can leech life or something like that. So now my healing is at least better. I think 10% better. The fact that you have to press E and K for each and every item that you want to pick up, it's not very good. Take the new one, I guess. This one is much better. Phantom Stab Talent +1. Ooh. Holy Light Contract Talent. Holy Light. Don't know what Holy Light is. Would be great if they actually showed you, you know, like if you could use your mouse to like hover over the skill to actually see the skill. That would have been fantastic, but I guess we don't get that. Okay, so it says got one epic item, so the orange items are epic items in the game. They're what are considered epic items. Holy shit, this one is pretty good. A lot better than the one that I currently have. So, is this it then? Like, even though I'm not done with the map, like, I haven't explored over there, like, I'm not gonna fucking run all the way back up over there, so I'm assuming I'm done now, kind of. the fuck am I supposed to get up there? There we go. Get sacred! After getting it, summon Snow Elf. Okay. Like sacred. Click sacred button. There are two kinds of holy things, repentance and evil thoughts. Confessions contain sacred objects without equipment, some of which can give you special powers. Evil thoughts contain absolutely nothing. You can follow the button at the bottom of the interface, put the pet in the left pet bar, the pet will come to you. Okay, so is the pet simply cosmetic? How do you open the menu again? Exit, okay. Let's get sacred, boys. Oh, it is combat, so it does have combat. Old magic condensed snowman which can be driven to magic attack and has a small probability of freezing target. That's nice. I do like pets that can attack. Okay. Good stuff. Do we need to go down? We haven't been up here yet. Attack him, snowman. He attacks very slowly. But he does do his job. I mean, something is better than nothing, I guess. Can't really complain. Okay, nothing here. So we go down. E and K, and E and K, and E and K. I don't understand why we can't just pick the shit up with a single button. Like you see here, I would love to shoot downwards, but I can't. Holy shit, you can fly. E and K. I'm absolutely busting nuts on these guys with this hilariously strong bow. E and K. Busting nuts in their faces. Bow is hilariously overpowered compared to melee. Like, you will get hit in melee, and the cool thing about this is that your chances about getting hit are far lower. What are you attacking? You see, I can't even attack the fucking thing. See, that's really bad. Like, that shouldn't happen. I had to jump, but if you press the jump key too much, then you just shoot over the head. Here it's fucking happening again, you fucking... Like, that's bad. That shouldn't fucking happen. That's really bad. Like, really, the fact that the game doesn't have auto-aim is exceptionally terrible. It really should have auto-aim, or at least aiming, some form of aiming. Because that's just really, really bad. You need to go up there? Holy shit, he actually one-hit that shit. C damage. What's C damage? C damage. I'm not even sure what C damage is. And then crit and then dex. I haven't even actually read yet what each of the stats do. I should actually probably do that. Crit. Dex. Let's go for dex. I still don't know what those actually do. Do they just give me the bonus immediately, or what do they actually do? Let's see. Was it at explore? No. Setting. Yeah, here we go. Help, attributes. You see, like, let's see, damage, MDev, dex. Where's dex? Yeah, you see, it doesn't even fit in. So here you're supposed to be able to see dex and whatever, ATN and int and res and luck and all of that. You can see luck, so there it says affects both the critical hit rate and the drop rate of rare items. Crit affects the critical hit rate. The higher the value, the higher the critical hit rate. C damage is crit damage. Okay, so at least we learned that. But I don't know what the dex does. It doesn't show dex. And it doesn't show int either. So, like, it's really bad. It's really, really bad that the translations are so hilariously terrible and the UI hasn't been adjusted to accommodate the English language and all of that. Like, it's an issue that you're gonna run into constantly. I mean, we've seen it on at least one skill where the skill's full description doesn't fit in on the actual skill. We've seen it multiple other times. Like, it's just not good. It's gonna constantly affect your gameplay. And the ranged combat really pisses me off. Like, the fact that the ranged combat is so bad, the fact that you can't aim is enough to make me almost not play the game, because I enjoy the ranged combat. Like, the ranged style, I like that, because you can attack, dodge, attack, dodge. But the fact that you can't aim is constantly going to fuck you over in any scenario where you are fighting an enemy that is higher or lower than you. Let's try the staff. I said I want to try magic before we end today, so let's try this. Okay, so just shoot straight. Will it actually do like homing attacks or something like that? Oh. And it doesn't pierce. Doesn't pierce like the it actually aims. So the magic actually aims. You see, why does the magic have the benefit of aiming by itself? I didn't even need to aim it, it just simply aimed upwards. So why does the magic aim, but No, that one is not as good. But the bow and arrow doesn't aim. I just don't understand why they couldn't make both the same, you know? Like if you can implement aiming, look at that. I can literally shoot downwards now. If you can implement aiming for the arrows, then why can't you do the same for the ranged attacks of the or if you can do it for the magic, then why can't you do it for the arrows as well? Like, I just don't understand it. It really is a little bit illogical. Like, honestly, that would make me now switch over to magic, even though it doesn't pierce, which obviously will be worse in certain scenarios, because your attacks with the arrows pierce, but like I've been screwed over more times by not being able to shoot up or not being able to shoot down than what I have been screwed over from kind of feeling as if there are too many enemies and me wishing that my arrows would pierce, you know. So the fact that the magic attacks don't pierce isn't such a big issue to me. The massive issue is the fact that the arrows can't be aimed. So quite honestly, I'm probably going to switch over to magic from now on, because magic, sure, it doesn't pierce, the projectiles don't pierce, and they probably don't travel as far either, but at least they can aim. You can shoot upwards and downwards automatically, which is definitely good. The fact here that we have fucking one level called mirror and one level called out of, once again shows you how bad the translations in the game are. There it says out of control, so that's the name of the thing, but it doesn't even fit in on the thing there. Like, it's just an issue that comes up constantly. Like, it's really a big issue in the game. Like, is it really going to affect your game, your actual game, that much? Probably not. It's probably not going to really affect your game that much, but you are, like, already we have a couple of scenarios already where we don't know what the fuck a skill does, or we don't know what an attribute does, you know, that kind of thing. So holy shit, that thing actually moves through the wall. So in that aspect, you're not going to have the information that you would need in a couple of scenarios, you know. And obviously the story is completely gone, you know. Like, the story is just gone because of these really bad translations, and on top of that, the fact that you have no time to read the dialogue if you press fast forward. So you literally have to sit there and wait, like, way too long for the text to actually progress, you know, which is just really irritating. But otherwise than that, I don't really see the text, the entire text issue, and the fact that things don't fit into the boxes and all of that kind of stuff. The text running off the side of the boxes, I don't really see that being a real game-breaking issue. Sure, it's a massive fucking irritation, but I don't really think it will be a game-breaking issue, to be honest. So yeah, it's a fucking irritation, and it could relatively easily have been solved by the developer, but overall, it's not a gigantic issue. It's just a really fucking unnecessary irritation. This one gives attack and crit. Do we want that over health? I'm not even sure how much 21 attack really is. Is it a lot? Is it not a lot? Let's take it. Then store that one, and then store that one. So yeah, it's an irritation, but the fact that text runs off of the side of the window many times in many instances, I don't think is going to be game breaking. So it's an issue, but it's not really a game breaking issue, I wouldn't think. There might somewhere possibly be an issue where perhaps you have to read something and it because the text goes off of the screen, you can't read it, and because of that you can't solve a puzzle, perhaps something like that. That is totally something that could happen, and in that aspect it could be game breaking. Oh, I got some speed. But other than that very specific scenario, I don't think it's gonna be a gigantic issue or anything like that. The other issue obviously is the fact that the ranged attack of the arrows, the archer, if you're an archer, they don't auto aim, which is actually a really big issue. It basically makes the archer unplayable. The archer class just unplayable, basically. That's how bad it is. So that's obviously not good. But yeah, otherwise than that, any issues that I can think of? Oh, of course, the control scheme. That's probably the biggest issue that I have with the game is the really fucking terrible control scheme. Like the fact that enter does nothing. Like enter doesn't even enter into the game. Like you use spacebar to confirm everything, and then when you look at the hotkeys, you can't change Q, E, or M at all for some hilarious fucking reason. You can't change Q, E, or M. And then I had to change dash. I think dash was O or some shit like that. Like, I don't know why you would make it O. The fact that the mouse doesn't do anything, like, I would have really felt a lot better with the play style of the game if you could simply do main hand attack on the left click and side attack on the right click. That would have made the game so much fucking better. Like, honestly, a lot better than what it currently is, because take a moment and look at your keyboard and then imagine placing your hand on W, A, S, and D as you normally would, but then your second hand is on J, K, I, and O. Like, that's just really fucking weird. Like, I and O are your weapon abilities, and then J and K are the left attack and right attack. Like, let me try something quickly. Are you sure you want to restore? No, I don't want to restore it. I want to change it. Okay, there we go. Like left click, it doesn't want to bind to left click at all. So it just would have been so much better if you could do left click, right click, because then you could play the game normally. You can have your left hand on W, S, and D, and you use your left hand to push Q and E and even M. And dash is shift, that's no problem. Space is jump, that's no problem. And then your weapon skills, you could have put that to be maybe, I don't know, something like, even if you could bind it to mouse button 3 and mouse button 4, that would have been fantastic if you could bind weapon skill 1 to be mouse button 3 and weapon skill 2 to be mouse button 4. So on your mouse, the side buttons, even though some mouses don't have the side buttons, but that would have been amazing. Like, then this game would have played as smooth as butter. But in lieu of that, you could then maybe make weapon skill 1 and 2 something like caps lock and tab, maybe, you know, caps lock and tab. You could do something like that instead of fucking I and O. You know, that already would have been a lot better. It's just really the issue of having your second hand, your right hand, on J, I, Q, and O. Like, it is just hilariously bad. Like, this isn't fucking 1995 where you played a game with just the keyboard. Like, I remember in the old days you used to play the games with just the keyboard without the mouse. In fact, the first computer that I had didn't even have a mouse. Literally, no mouse attached to the computer. The entire computer ran on just the keyboard. But like, it's just really the gameplay could have been so much fucking smoother if you just were able to actually use the mouse and bind left click and right click to your first and second attack. The gameplay would have been massively better. Really, really better. And right now, because of this, the gameplay is clunky. It's just really clunky. Like, it feels clunky as a motherfucker, like, really. So yeah, like, that's really my biggest complaint. My biggest complaint is the mouse. Like, the controls, the fact that you can't bind anything to the mouse is just really, really bad. Let's get this spider boss over with. Fucking hell, these guys shoot penetrating. Fucking hell. And they have a shitload of health. Like, holy tits, they have a lot of health. Fucking hell. How the hell are you supposed to beat this? I can't even deal any damage to these dudes. Yeah, no, this boss is massively overtuned. There's just no way in fucking hell how I'm going to be able to beat that boss. There's no way how I can beat that boss. Absolutely no way. Okay. Let's see, did I have any main... Oh, the old man told me to speak to him, I think. Oh no. How do you view your quests, by the way? By the way, that's my dog in the background, if you heard that. Oh, I guess these kind of show your quests, even though... Like, once again, like there, it doesn't show the full thing. It doesn't show the full... I think it's cut off there. And then somehow I skipped all the way from here, skipped all of that to here, somehow. And then there, I don't know what ta really a robot means. And then there, I think once again it's cut off. So even the I'm assuming the quest dialogue, because these were quests, even that is cut off. And it doesn't really give you a meaningful, realistic way to see where your quests are or where you should go next. So you will probably just do one area until you have 8 out of 8 and 7 out of 7 and all of that kind of stuff, you know? Can I open any of these chests? No. I don't know how to open a chest. I think there should be a chest here, maybe, I don't know. But apparently I haven't done enough, even though I've already done 10 out of the 19 required things. I still haven't unlocked a chest somehow. But okay, so I guess you can't really see your quests per se. I guess. Do I have a better staff than the one that I currently have? Okay, so that's my quest that I that's my staff that I have right now. Where? How do you like, how do you equip another item? Okay, so that's how you do it. So you have your item, even though this is just a staff. Where are my bows? What if I want to switch to a bow, for instance? Ah, there we go. Okay, so you have to... Oh, okay, I wasn't looking there at the bottom left. So you need to remember, you need to be on the correct tab over there, and then you press Q and E to switch between them. So once again, the tutorial didn't tell me any of this. It's just one of those things that you have to figure out for yourself, I guess. Okay, so yeah, here are all of the other stuff. So yeah, I would have wanted to use bows, to be honest, because look at that. This bow is a lot better than my current one that I have, my current weapon. But just purely the fact that the bows can't aim is really bad. Also, I'm a little bit dumbfounded as to how in the holy hell are you supposed to be able to beat that spider boss, because like I'm level 11, I was able to beat everything before that, and then that spider boss absolutely decimated me. Like, it, even if I was level 20, I am certain I would not have been able to beat that spider boss. So, that fight is either heavily overtuned, or the developers simply want you to die there and then come back later to be stronger. I don't like that idea. I don't like that idea of the developers putting a fight down that is so powerful that you will die at it and then you simply have to go farm and come back later. I don't like that, but anyway. So yeah, quite honestly, what do I think about the game? It's not bad. The animations, like some of the character portraits, like I said, are good. Like this one is pretty damn good. This one, in fact, is better than that main character's portrait, in my opinion. Like, if you look at the main character's portrait, like this, I don't know, this doesn't look good. It's not particularly high quality, in my opinion. This looks better. This definitely looks better. And the portrait of that other old man that we found down there in the sewers there, that's a very good high quality portrait. So the quality of the animations and the portraits are not particularly impressive. I would say they are a little bit mediocre, to be honest. But I mean, it's not the end of the world. Otherwise than that, I don't know. I don't really have many issues. I've said my issues already, you know, the fact that you can't use the mouse is the biggest issue that I have with the game. The game would just be so much fucking smoother if you could use the mouse. The game would be much fucking smoother. And right now it's very clunky. It's very, very clunky. Pressing J and K and I and O on the fucking keyboard, it's just really clunky. And you just have to weigh it up for yourself. Are you okay with playing a clunky platformer? Like, platformers, if they're clunky, it really affects the game more than if a first-person shooter is a little bit clunky or something like that, you know? Like, a first-person shooter doesn't need to be buttery smooth, you know, super smooth, well-oiled controls and gameplay and all of that kind of stuff, because your timing and your movements and all of that kind of stuff is not as precise. It doesn't need to be as precise to survive and all of that. But in a platformer like this, a Metroidvania game, if the movement and the play style and the gameplay and the controls aren't buttery fucking smooth, like oiled to perfection, then you're gonna have a bad time. A really bad time. And like, it doesn't feel good. The combat and the gameplay doesn't feel good as a result of the whole IOJK bullshit. If you could just use the mouse, the game would be infinitely better. The game would be really, really good if you could only use the mouse, but unfortunately you can't. The translations, as I said, are bad, just bad, and then on top of the bad translations, you have the issue that you're constantly going to encounter, like this, where text are heavily cut in half. Heavily. I mean, massively cut in half. So there's going to be repeatedly throughout your entire gameplay experience this kind of shit happening with quests and items and lore and dialogue and this shit here, where I try to figure something out, like what does int do? It doesn't even show what int does because int is completely cut off. Magic defense is completely cut off. Like res is completely cut off, doesn't say what res is at all, so you're left in the dark, you know. And it doesn't just affect this, it affects every text-based thing in the entire bloody game. And considering that the entire game is text-based, not voice-based, that's a big issue, you know. But otherwise than that, I don't really have any real issues. And I mean, considering that the game costs just $12, I can definitely recommend the game. For $12, like, this game is... it has issues. It definitely has issues. I mean, it has issues. Not gigantic issues, but it has some fucking issues, and you're just gonna have to live with those issues because $12 is not a whole lot of money. Like, honestly, $12 is a pittance for the enjoyment that you can get out of this game. Yeah, you're gonna have to deal with some clunky fucking controls that are IO and JK and that kind of bullshit, and yeah, you're gonna have to deal with some text missing, like a lot of text missing, to be honest, and dialogue that doesn't make sense, items that doesn't make sense, grammatical errors, that kind of bullshit. And yeah, you're gonna have to deal with the fact that archery is basically unusable in the game. You basically can't use archery in the game due to the fact that archery doesn't auto-aim. But you're gonna have to deal with all of that bullshit because the game just costs $12. $12 is a small amount of money, considering that you're going to be able to get probably in the region of 20 to 30 hours of gameplay out of this game. So $12 is not a lot of money for that, and despite those three things that I mentioned, the game is actually pretty good. I actually really like the game. Despite those bad issues, I actually like the game. I would have loved the game if only you could bind controls to your mouse. Like, really, I would have loved the game, because if you take that issue out of the equation, then the only issues with the game is really shitty English translations and text being cut off, and the fact that you can't aim with a bow. Those are really the only two options that would have been left if you could only bind controls to your mouse. And that would have made the game really good. Like, the game would have been really a fucking bargain at $12 if those were the only two issues. But like I said, the fact that you can't bind to your mouse is the biggest issue. Those other two issues are really not so big of an issue. The biggest issue is the fact that you can't use your mouse. That's the biggest issue, and that's the reason why the game isn't as good as what it possibly could have been. So I can totally recommend the game, but you need to realize that you're going to experience some rather clunky fucking gameplay with the fact that you have to use I and O and J and K on your fucking keyboard. And like I said, a clunky platformer is a lot different than a clunky first-person shooter or something like that. Clunky platformer is not fun. It's definitely not fun to play. But yeah, I can definitely recommend the game for $12. So yeah, overall not a bad game. Could have been a shitload better, but overall not bad. Hopefully, possibly, the developer can implement mouse controls. That would really make the game a lot better. But yeah, I can definitely recommend the game. I mean, you have to review the game on what the game is currently, not on what the game could be in the future, you know. Right now the game is something that I can definitely recommend. So yeah, guys, that's not too bad overall. So thanks a lot to the developer for sending me code for the game. It's very much appreciated. It's also cool that I can play the game before the game is actually released, even though by the time that I've uploaded this video and YouTube has processed the video and all of that kind of bullshit, the game will already be released because it releases in about 8 hours or so. But still, thanks to the developer for sending me code. And if you want to support the developer, check out the link to the Steam page below. And then if you want to support me, you can always do that on patreon.com/LFP. Any support that you give towards this channel will allow me to do more reviews in the future. So yeah, guys, that is pretty much it. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you guys next time.